Hello, welcome to Ugears. My name is Yana. Today we are going to assemble one of our new models. It's a musical instrument called Hurdy-Gurdy. A few words about its history first. This instrument takes its roots in the 15th century. Initially, it was a big and cumbersome instrument which was difficult to handle. It was called organism. Slowly, it changed and took shape of a more portable version under the name of Hurdy-Gurdy. The instrument had immediately become very popular among aristocrats in the 17th, 18th century. People used to decorate it with rocks and encrust it. Back then, the hurdy-gurdy music was referred to as a medieval rock and roll. We liked this idea very much, and so we decided to recreate the instrument of that era, and thus we created the hurdy-gurdy construction kit, which you can assemble with your own hands and have a great time doing so. So, let's begin. Open the box and take out the model. As you can see, it includes 8 boards with parts and instructions. It also includes auxiliary tools, a model of a hammer, rosin, wax, strings, rubber bands, and a piece of sandpaper. Now, let's see the purpose of each tool. Open our instructions. You may also need a trim knife and nippers. I also prepared some additional sandpaper and wax, but as they are supplied with the model, we will not need them. Carefully cut open the package. Let's read the instruction first. The first 2 pages give us a very important information that we should extract pieces with extreme care. If a piece can be extracted, try to use the knife. We also have this helper to extract parts. You can use it too. If pieces wouldn't insert or connect well, you can use wax to facilitate the process. Then we can see the following signs. Do not ignite the wax. Use extreme care while working with sharp parts to avoid injuries. Throughout the instruction, we will see the following symbols. Symbol 1. Wax the part. Symbol 2. Sandpaper, sand or trim the part. Symbol 3. Use rosin. We'll need it to grease parts, but we'll discuss it later. Symbol 4. Do not lock the parts, etc. Leave the parts free from locking for a while. Symbol 5. Press down the part until it locks. Symbol 6. Pay attention to certain elements specified in the instruction. Symbol 7. Take care extracting a part from a board. Use the knife to cut the cross pieces to make it easier and to avoid damage. Symbol 8. Rotating element. The piece must rotate or move freely when assembled. And the last symbol, auxiliary hammer model. Here we have this additional model that you should assemble before proceeding to the hurdy-gurdy. So let's put the hurdy-gurdy instruction aside and start with the hammer. Take the knife and carefully open the film to extract the instruction. Start with part number 1. Following the instruction, push out parts number 1 and number 2 and put them together. The teeth here should match. Then parts number 3 and number 4. You can use some wax to make the connection easier. Now we put these two parts together using parts number 5 and number 7. Extract them carefully from the board to avoid damage to the teeth. Please note that the parts have marks. These marks should match and be positioned at the hammer's top. To do this, we align the hole insert the part on one side and lock it with the part on the other side. You can use some wax to insert the teeth easily. Connect the lower holes too, using parts number 8 and number 6. In the same way, insert one part and lock it with the second one. Make sure that the marks match. Note the pay attention symbol in the instruction and the figure explaining how pins inside the hammer handle should be connected. Let's do the hammer head next. We'll need part number 9 and 3 parts number 11 for this. Insert parts number 11 into the holes. The next figure shows that all parts number 9 should be put on the pins. Here you can also use some wax. Do it with all 5 parts. Now it's the turn of the upper part 10. It bears Ugears logo. Put it on, and the hammerhead is done. Lock it on the hand. Note the position of the wide and narrow edge in relation to the hammerhead. Insert the handle pin into the hole and lock it with parts number 12 and fasten it. Our hammer is done. Now we can start assembling the main model. First, we have to check with the instruction to see which parts we will need. It's board 1, and parts number 1 and number 2 on it. Extract these parts and note 2 arrow marks pointing at each other. Put the parts together like this and align the holes. Now, we need pins number 3. You can find them on board 6. Here's a set of them. We'll need quite a lot, so you can extract the set right away. Extract all 8 parts. As I've already mentioned, this model has a helper that makes extraction easier. You can find it on board 7. Here it is. Extract it now to use it for further work. Lightly press down the part at the cross piece, and the part comes out easily. We'll need 8 of them. In case of any burrs left, we can trim them with a knife. That's it. The burrs are removed and we can insert the parts into the big holes. Please note that the holes are narrow on one side of the circle and wide on the other side. We use the wide side to insert the pins and fasten the circles. Thus, circles number 1 and number 2 are fastened to each other. It's very important to remove burrs on the rim surface, as this is where the cord will later touch the wheel. By removing burrs, we ensure a clear and uninterrupted sound. For this, the wheel surface must be smooth.
И сделать это колесо гладким.
Perfectly smooth. One more important thing. Under no circumstances use waxing here, as this surface must provide higher friction rather than low friction. To increase friction, we'll apply rosin to this surface at the end when we feed the strings. Then we need part number 6 and number 7. They can be found on bird number 1. And insert them into each other. This can be done with ease.
И обязательно смазываем.
Make sure to wax all edges of these parts as shown in the figure as well as the edges of pins.
На картиночке. А также края шипов.
With which the parts will be locked.
И берем
Take
декоративные
decorative parts.
детали.
Part number 5
Начало
goes
номер
first.
5. И
Put it
одеваем
on the
на нашу
axle we made
получившуюся
earlier.
ось. Здесь есть
The part has a wide slot and a narrow slot. Make sure to fit the axle correctly. Fit part number 5 all the way through. Next goes the wheel. The pin caps should be positioned towards you.
Вас. Вот таким образом. И теперь
Now, the decorative cover matches the wheel pattern. Part number 4 goes at the wheel's backside and pushed all the way along the axle. Here's what we have. Then we need parts number 8 and number 9. They can be found on board 1, 2. Extract this set. To avoid confusion in diametries, these parts have marks. This will help you distinguish them in case you have to deal with a number of similar parts. First, we need part number 9. Put it on the shorter end of our axle. Sand the surface before fitting it. Our axle has already been waxed, so we can put the part on all the way through. Part number 8 goes next. Sand the part and put it on all the way through. Done. Parts number 9 and number 8 go at the back side too.
Номер 8.
First, we put part number 9 on the longer end of the axle, and then goes part number 8 all the way through. Wax the part. Now we need part number 28. You can find it on board 3. Put it on the washer on the axle. This part should be fitted on the washer at the pin's shorter end. Fasten it with part number 9. Sand it. And part number 10 goes last. Here's part number 10. It's on board 1.
Вот она.
Remove burrs to ensure proper engagement of the gear and wax it. Then, extract part number 29 from board 3.
Номер 29. И в верхнее отверстие
Feed the axle into the upper hole.
Верхнее отверстие.
Wax the upper holes first. And then fasten the axle with gear number 11. It can also be found on board 1. Remove burrs and wax the gear before fitting it.
И одеваем на самый край шипа.
At the very edge of the pin. Here's the unit we got. It's still missing parts number 57. Here they are. To fasten the assembly.
Две детальки.
Two small packs.
Мы их смазываем и
Wax them.
устанавливаем в серединку.
And insert them into the empty hole in the center.
Таким образом, у нас получается
Thus we've got the unit called
блок
Unit
под
A.
названием А.
Put
Мы
it
его
aside
откладываем и переходим
and go to the next
к
step.
дальнейшей сборке.
On the next page, we see that we need parts number 15, number 16, and number 3.
Мы их достаем из
Carefully take part number 16 out of board 1.
16.
Then we need 4 parts number 15. Here they are. There's also one spare part. We currently need 4 primary parts.
Аккуратно их достаем. Зачищаем от заусенцев, чтобы
Remove burrs to ensure proper rotation of the gears.
и дальше нам
4
понадобится
parts
4
number
детали
3 go next.
3. Достаем
Take them out of the set. Remove burrs.
и собираем так, как показано
And
на
assemble as
картинке.
shown in figure.
1. Сначала нужно
Wax the part surfaces and teeth first.
поверхность детали, зубчики.
The surface of part number 15 and teeth. There are 4 of them.
И теперь
Now,
мы вставляем
We can insert a pin into the round hole of part number 15
и фиксируем
and lock it in the hole of part number 16.
И проверяем,
Then,
чтобы
check free rotation of the gear.
то же самое проделаем
Repeat the
с
steps
остальными
for the remaining gears.
съемками. Для того, чтобы
To ensure the mechanism's good look,
смотрелся,
keep the same direction of the pattern. Here's what we get.
Дальше нам понадобится деталь
Then we need parts number 12,
12.
part number 13, and part number 14.
Продеваем
Put part number 13 through the hole
13 и
and
сверху на
fit
неё
washer number 14
шайбу,
on
которая
top of it.
14. Можно её
The
немного
surfaces
смазать
can be
в
waxed.
плоскости. Сверху одеваем нашу шестереночку.
Fit the 5-gear assembly on top.
Шестеренками. И
And then we have to fit part number 17 in the middle. Having waxed the surface
внизу по плоскости и
and teeth
на
first.
зубцах. И совмещаем
Engage the gears.
дальше.
Then
закрываем это
attach
всё
washer number 18 on
номер
top.
18.
Like this.
С шестой доски достаем
Find part number 17 on board 6.
номер 17.
Here it is. It holds a set with part number 51. Put it aside for the moment, we'll need it later. Currently, we only need part number 19. Thoroughly wax the inner teeth
и одеваем
and fit it on top of our gear assembly.
сверху на нашу сборочку. И
Then,
проверяем, что наши
make sure that
шестеренки
our
очень
gears
красиво
rotate nicely.
совмещаются.
Then, we have to wax the side pins
боковые.
and take parts number 19 and number 20. They can be found on board 2. Here they are. Parts number 20 and number 21.
И мы смотрим, как должны
Let's
располагаться
arrange the
стрелки
position of the arrows in relation to our gear assembly.
Стрелка сверху.
The upper arrow should be pointed outwards. Fit the part on the right-hand pins. Do the same on the opposite side.
Блока.
The arrow
точно так же. Стрелочка смотрит
is pointed outwards and positioned at the top. The assembly is locked.
Проверяем, чтобы
Check the free rotation of the mechanism
свободно вращался. И
And
таким
thus,
образом получаем
we get Unit B, the planetary mechanism. Put it aside for the moment
и переходим
and go
к
to the next step.
следующему этапу.
We'll need parts number 22, number 23, number 24.
Здесь мы уже будем
Here we
начинать
start assembling the Hurdy-Gurdy's body.
Hurdy-Gurdy.
Put part number 24
Мы насаживаем деталь
on part number 22,
22, так,
making
чтобы
sure that the
надпись,
inscription is
оказалась
inside,
внутри, а
and the
рисунок
pattern
боковой
printed
части
on the
22
side part of piece
детали,
number 22
смотрел на
is
нас
outside
снаружи.
towards you, and connect the pieces. The same procedure should be followed for part number 23.
И у кого
If you
это
face
получается,
difficulties,
здесь уже пригодится
you can use our auxiliary tool,
вспомогательный
the hammer.
инструмент молоток. Вы можете
A few light taps should help you manage the job easily.
должно сложиться.
Then,
Дальше мы открываем
we open wide the side walls
боковые части и
and place the planetary mechanism, Unit B, inside. It should be placed against the side holes
по бокам, так как в дальнейшем
as this is where it will be fastened later.
Дальше мы
Then,
берем
take the decorative plates
накладки
number
с
25.
номером 25.
You can find them on board 7. Take extreme care while extracting them.
Значит, аккуратно
In the event you can't do it properly,
потому что детальки очень
use the knife to cut the cross pieces.
ажурные.
These parts are very delicate and can be easily damaged. We'll also need parts number 26 and number 27. Here they are. We had them on board too. It's 2 sets with which we are going to fasten the decorative plates. Part number 26 has a long pin. Part number 27 has a short pin.
Совмещаем
Align the holes in the plates
на декоративных накладках, на
side panels
панелях и
and our inner planetary mechanism
так, чтобы
to match the big hole with the small hole
и шляпкой вверх
and having waxed the pin,
шип.
put it through cap first. One side is fastened at the top.
Сверху
Now we take the short pin number 26
мы декоративную
to fasten the plate at the bottom.
Можно использовать такие
You can
чайные
use
свечи,
tea light
ими
like this
очень удобно смазывать
to wax small parts.
и со второй стороны тоже фиксируем
Use part number 26
26
to fasten the opposite side.
И насквозь
Make sure that all holes are aligned and put the pin through
шип. И
and then
коротенький
the short
номер
pin
27
number 27.
снизу.
The decorative plate on one side is already fastened. The other side is still to be done. Repeat the same procedure on the opposite side.
Совмещаем отверстия
Align the holes in the decorative plate, side wall, and planetary mechanism, and fasten them with the pin.
шипом.
In case a pin is broken or lost, you can use the spare pin. Fit the pin number 26 at the bottom. If you face difficulties pressing the pins with your fingers, you can use the helper. Apply the wider surface of the helper to the pins and apply some force. This makes the installation easier. Part number 26 and part number 27. Done. The planetary mechanism is installed. The side plates are fitted. Now we can install Unit A. Pay attention to the part that goes first during installation. There's a smaller part and a bigger part. The smaller part goes towards the planetary mechanism, and the bigger part is directed towards the open end. The installation holes can be waxed,
который будет вставляться этот блок. И здесь нам может
and here we can make use of the hammer.
молотка.
Align everything carefully,
Если что-то
because
установите неправильно,
if you do something wrong, you'll have troubles disassembling it. Complete the job with the light taps of the hammer. Feed these two units. Make sure that the gear is aligned with the planetary teeth and the gear's engagement is correct.
И
Rotate the mechanism to make sure that it works properly.
теперь мы можем покрутить.
Running the mechanism to ensure the proper operation of the instrument.
Работает. Немножко можем разработать, чтобы в дальнейшем легче инструмент работал.
Everything works properly. Now,
чтобы уже завершить этот
we can
блок,
install the
можно
back deck to complete this
нижнюю
unit.
деку. Она у
You
нас
can find it
находится
on
на
board
номер
3.
3. Вот такая
Here it is.
красивая, с надписью
It looks
HurdyGurdy.
nice with the
Здесь еще
Hurdy-Gurdy
есть место
inscription.
для,
It also leaves room for your own
какой-то
inscription
вашей
or
надписи или
signature,
автографа
whatever
по
you like.
желанию. И устанавливаем мы ее таким образом, чтобы
Install the deck to have Hurdy-Gurdy inscription on top. Like this.
одеваем на
Put it on
соответствующие
corresponding pins.
шипы.
And again,
Если
if you feel resistance,
сборка плотная,
you can wax the pins to avoid damage.
и аккуратно одеваем на
Carefully fit the deck on the narrower part of the body
нашего корпуса нижнюю деку, а на широкий
and leave the wider body free for the moment.
шипы не до конца не вставляем.
You can see here the symbol "Do not lock the pieces" I mentioned in the beginning.
До упора.
Here's where it comes handy.
Это понадобится нам для того, чтобы установить.
This is required to install some other pieces before the body is locked to the back deck.
Корпус с декой нижней. Пока
Let's put this unit aside for a moment. Let's proceed to the next step. We need board number 7 and parts number 33 and 34 on it.
Вот она. Деталь номер
Extract part number 33
и
and two parts number 34.
их мы
Please note the correct position of part number 33.
33.
This tooth-like protrusion should be on your left, and the rounded protrusion should be on your right. Fit parts number 34 into the holes.
Можно их немножко прокрутить, чтобы они
You
там
can turn
хорошо
them to ensure their proper rotation.
И детали
And parts number
в самом
35.
нижнем правом углу.
Here they are at the bottom right of the board number 7.
Мы их
Sand
должны
these
хорошо
parts
зачистить
thoroughly
от заусенцев,
as they will be in contact with the strings during raising or lowering them.
струны, поднимать или опускать струну, и для того, чтобы струна не перетиралась и хорошо
Sanding allows to prevent wear and tear of the strings
и
and
можно слегка
ensure their
смазать
proper
их по
sliding.
плоскости.
You can apply some wax to the surface before fastening the parts with part number 36. Please also note that this part has the same shape as part number 33, only that it's a bit larger and has a pattern on its surface. Position the part with the pattern towards you and put it on pegs number 34. Then, find parts number 37 on board number 8. These ones. It's important to install them in the correct position. This lace-like side should be installed on the pattern-free side. Lock them into the slots. Here's what we should get. On top, we have two parallel pairs of pins for parts number 38 found on board number 7. There's even a spare part in case you have broken one. The parts are fitted with their decorative elements against each other. The pins can be waxed. On the pin ends, we put parts number 39. These parts are two tuning pegs for the strings. This unit is completed. Now, we need the front deck, which can be found on board number 4. It looks very nice with the pattern on it. I'd even say an ornament. We'll need two parts. Number 3. On board number 1. We have this nice looking part that decorates the front deck. It has Ugears printed on it. This is how it should be fitted and fastened with our pegs number 3 on the back side. To do this, align the holes and insert the parts like this. Same on this side. That's what we get. Remove the burrs. Now, fit our unit into the front deck.
4 отверстия.
The front deck has 4 holes and the unit has 4 pins. So the unit is fitted now. You can use some wax for the pins if you feel resistance. Here's what it looks like. Turn it around. You can see on the back side a few holes, which we use to fasten this upper unit. To do this, we need parts number 40. You can find them on board number 6.
На 6-й доске.
Here's that set.
И достаем нам
We'll need 4 parts number 40.
40.
You can use the helper. Quite an interesting part. It is spring-loaded somewhat. It can be waxed at the bottom edge. To install the part, lightly squeeze it
Вставляем ее.
and place it in the holes as far as possible,
Насколько это возможно.
giving the part a slight push.
Проталкиваем.
Two more parts to go.
Вставляем чуть-чуть.
Slightly squeeze and push them.
Все, детали.
These parts fasten the string holder properly from the inside.
И мы его
We can put it aside
пока и
and
приступить к
go to the
следующему
next
этапу.
step.
Будем собирать декоративную панель.
We will assemble the decorative panel to which a crank will be attached
Соединяться ручка. Это блок
right
вот
here.
сюда. И для этого нам
We need board number
понадобится
2 for
вторая
this.
доска. Деталь номер 41.
Part number
Берем корпус
41.
номер 43.
Insert pegs number 43 as shown in the instruction. The part should be positioned with its parting towards you.
И дальше с этой же доски
Take part number 42 out of the same board
и одеваем сверху на
and put it on the pegs we have just fitted. Align the holes.
отверстие. И теперь
Now,
нам нужно
we need
взять
parts
деталь
number
номер
55
55
and
и
54,
54,
which can be found
они
on
на
board
4
number 4.
доске.
Here they are.
Две
Two
детали
parts.
с номером
Part number
55
55 and part number 54.
Располагаем деталь.
Part number 54 is asymmetrical. The part should be positioned in a way to have the hold bulge on it towards your left. Feed part number 55, holding its sharp protrusion outwards. Then, take the unit we made and attach the hole of part number 55 to the upper left pin. Fasten it with another part number 55 and put the pins of part number 54 through it on the opposite side. This movable top will be used to fasten strings. Now, we need parts number 56. These side plates can be found on board number 3. One part is spare. Attach them on both sides. We get the unit like this. Now we should wax it. Wax the round holes inside, some on the surface and some on the back. The same with the second round hole, inside and on the surface. These holes are intended for rotating elements, the gears. The gears should rotate freely, and we should give the holes good waxing therefore. Now, we need parts number 44 and number 45 on board number 2. Here's that board, part number 44 and number 45. Gear number 46 is on the same very board. Attach parts number 44 and number 45 to each other. In case of resistance, you can use the hammer. And feed part number 46. Our axle is symmetrical, and we can feed part number 46 all the way in at any end of the axle. Then we need another part number 48. Here it is on board number 3. Attach it to the opposite end, like this. Remove all the burrs and wax the surfaces and teeth of these two parts.
И зубцы.
Now parts number 47. We have two of them.
И
Feed them all the way in at both ends.
до конца.
Remove the burrs.
И можно немножко
You can sand and wax the part to have a smooth surface.
и смазать воском.
Put it aside. Now, parts number 49 and number 50, board number 6.
Вот они. Тоже
Put them together as well. And wax the edges.
Торцы.
Then we take gear number 51.
51. Вот мы ее откладывали.
We put it aside in the beginning.
Ее
Sand it. And feed it all the way on.
Сверху на нее,
Then
после нее одеваем 3
we
детали
attach
номером
3 parts number 52.
Они остались на
They are left on board number 2.
достаем.
This board can now be discarded.
И
Attach the 3 parts to our axle.
одеваем на ось нашу,
Remove burrs.
заусенцы. Хорошенько зачищаем, так как здесь будет серьезное трение. Это
And sand, as this is the area of some harsh friction. This axle and gear will be cranked by a Hurdy-Gurdy handle, and the friction there will be proportionally high.
Дальше мы должны
Then
ставить
we should wax all 3 washers and gear teeth.
зубцы шестеренки. Теперь берем наш корпус
Now we can take the Hurdy-Gurdy body
Hurdy-Gurdy и будем
and begin to assemble these parts.
детальки,
Wax
складываем
inside the hole and the
внутри
surface.
и саму плоскость. Туда устанавливаем
There we install this unit
блок. Само
right into the hole.
видим, что
As you can see, the instrument gets driven as we rotate.
действие.
Then we need part number 53. We had it on board number 2. Wax the hole inside 2 and the surfaces on both sides. You can also wax here.
Устанавливаем эту деталь таким образом.
Feed this part like this, trying to avoid jamming of the pins. Next, we should feed this part into the hole of part number 53. You can wax this end.
Также вот эту часть.
As we can see, our gears match.
Теперь мы можем установить декоративную.
Now we can install the decorative plate that holds all the parts together.
Одеваем ее на.
Feed it to the axles and washers. Align.
И теперь стараемся попасть.
And try to place the pins in the back deck holes.
Нижние деки. И это защелкиваем корпус.
Push to lock the body and the parts we have just fitted.
До упора. Вот так.
Here's what we should get. Next, install Unit C.
Для этого
Fold back the string holder and match all pins, gear holes, and close the front deck.
Отверстия под шестеренки и закрываем верхнюю деку. Теперь проверяем, что
Check that all parts rotate smoothly.
Здесь у нас есть
Here we can see the symbol check. Our assembly works fine. Now we can install decorative elements, parts number 98, on the sides of the body. You can find them on board number 7. Here are the parts. Take them all out. Here's how to feed them. They have a wide and a narrow part.
Можно
Wax the corners.
смазать уголки и чуть-чуть сжимая.
And carefully feed them, slightly squeezing the body.
Потихоньку одеваем.
On one
С
side
одной стороны, потом
and
с
on
другой.
the other.
Итак, все
Feed all 10 parts until they lock.
до щелчка.
Take your
Если
time.
вдруг
If a part gets broken, you have two replacement parts.
безопасные. Одной
One
стороны
side
готово.
is done.
Если тут немножко есть небольшой
There's a small burr on the wood that should be removed by sanding.
Зачистить наждачной бумагой. И
Now we have completed the body. This is the unit D.
И теперь мы можем перейти
Now we can
к
assemble the
сбору
neck.
грифа. А
The body can be put aside. We'll start from the tangents, parts number 58 and number 59 on board number 8.
они отличаются
They are different by their hole
размером
sizes.
отверстий. И
Take out one part number 58 and one part number 59, marked number 1. This is the first tangent.
И мы увидим, что
If we put
если
them
положить
side by
рядом,
side,
то, где шляпка, расстояние
we can see that one part is bigger at the bulge.
Вот оно должно быть
It should be on
сверху.
top.
И теперь мы берем
Now take part number 3,
наши гвоздики,
the packs, and join these two parts.
две детали между собой и
Our
получаем
first tangent
первую
is
клавишу.
made. Repeat the steps for all the 6 tangents. Tangent 3, tangent 4, tangent 5, tangent 6.
И достаем
5 more
еще
pegs to join the tangents.
гвоздиков, чтобы скрепить клавиши.
tangent 4, tangent 5,
І
and tangent 6. The tangents are completed. We can put them aside for a moment.
І переходимо к збору
We can assemble the gears which will be used to tune the strings. We need parts number 66 and number 67 on board number 5. This is the set.
І понадобиться шестеренки.
We also need gears number 68.
68.
Here are two of them. Parts number 66 and number 67. Take care to avoid confusion. One part, number 66, has two holes, while the other one has none.
Должно быть две.
We should have two axles. Each has string holes.
Под струны.
Like this. Remove burrs on the gear.
Шестеренки.
Wax the surfaces and teeth.
І по плоскості, і на зубцях. Можно
Not
не
too
слишком
much.
сильно. И устанавливаем
Insert the
таким
axles
образом
into gear holes.
в отверстие шестеренки, чтобы с противоположной стороны
To have string holes on the
у нас
other
было
side.
отверстие под струны. Вот
Like
так.
this.
Теперь
Now,
берем блок
Take gear set
шестеренки
number 70,
70,
number 71, and set number 69 with small axles.
Ось устанавливаем
Insert axle into the big gear number 70
70 и в
and
маленькую
fit the
шестеренку
small gear
номер
number
71.
71. Do it all the way through. It is desirable to have them in the same direction. Now, they should be given some waxing at the teeth,
И на
axle
кончиках
tips,
оси.
sand on the surface. Put them aside with the tangents and go to the neck. We start the assembly from the mid-neck. We'll need part number 64 on board number 6. And parts number 72 and number 73 on board number 8. We need 2 parts number 73 and 1 part number 72. The parts have arrows to avoid confusion during assembly, as these parts have a longer and a shorter end. Match 2 arrow marks together and fit the part short end first. Part number 72. Similarly, match 2 arrows and feed the part below. And part number 73. Match 2 arrows and feed the part into the third hole. Now we should fasten the parts. To do this, we need parts number 40. Take out 3 pieces. Wax them. Insert and fasten them. Next, part number 76. Feed it into the lower part's hole. Wax the pin and take extreme care during fitting. You have a replacement part in case of damage. The part should be fitted in a way to match the round and rectangular holes. Now we need unit E1 we assembled earlier. Fit it into the big hole. You can apply some wax to the axle base. The small gears, unit E2. Go into the small hole. Next,
вторую половину.
Take the second half of the mid-neck.
Это деталь с номером.
This is part number 65.
И
And fit it on top. Align the axles and holes and lock the piece. We need 3 more parts, number 40. Put them through the corresponding holes. Then we need part number 75. Here it is. It has 4 springs. Wax the spring edges. This part should be put through 3 planes. You can use the helper. Like this. Look it on this side too. With part number 40. And here's what we get. Now we need part number 77. Wax the pin and fit the part into the next hole.
Следующее отверстие.
A bit wrong. Here we are. Match the hole. And part number 78. It also has springs. Wax the springs and put them through these 2 parts.
Вот так. Фиксируем.
Lock it with pack number 40. Take part number 85 out of board number 6. The part is fitted with its print towards the rounded part of the neck. You can wax the locking points for a better fit.
Места крепления для лучшей посадки.
Now the part is fitted. Let's assemble the key box now. We need part number 60 on board number 8.
60. Вот она. Деталь номер 60.
The set of parts number 61 and number 62. Carefully extract it. One part is spare. And part number 62. Now you should correctly position the key box to have the numbers facing you. The rubber band pins are at the bottom. You can see the pins to which parts number 61 will be fitted. Wax them inside first. Don't forget the inside of the holes. And the pins themselves. Now feed part number 61 and then part number 62. It goes in two holes, is locked with a pin and fastens part number 61. Fit all the parts one by one. Done. Now, take the set of parts number 63. We need 5 pieces. These parts should be fitted in a way to have the hook away from parts number 61 and number 62.
От деталек 61 и 62. То есть, если мы перевернем,
This means that when you turn the assembly around, you will see that the hooks are reversed.
зеркально. Если очень туго вставляется, можно
Wax the holes in case of resistance.
отверстие. И теперь нам понадобится
Now we need one rubber band.
одна. Складываем ее пополам
Fold it in
и
two
задеваем за
and attach to a hook.
крючочек. Теперь
Now
нам
the
нужно
band should be run
провести
through all
её,
hooks
зигзагом,
thus
через
forming a sinuous pattern and attach it to the back side.
и одеть с противоположной стороны. Вот так
Here we are.
получилось. Дальше
Take the next
берем
part,
пальцем
number
80.
80.
Тут есть
It has printing,
рисуночки.
so the printing should be turned away.
И нам нужно
We have
накинуть
to
еще
attach
одну
another rubber
резиночку.
band that will run
Она будет
inside.
внутри.
This
того,
rubber
чтобы
band
смягчать работу
softens the
клавиш.
operation of the tangents.
Просто
Just run it through the
пропускаем
hole
отверстие
and
и
attach to the hooks like
закрепляем за
this.
крючки. Вот так. Дальше
Then,
берем
take
деталь
part number 74.
Это у нас
Out of
пятая
board
доска.
number 5.
Вот
Here
она.
it is.
И вставляем
Fit it into
в
this hole.
отверстие сюда. Фиксируем
And lock with part
деталь
number
номер
40.
40. Обратите внимание, что с этой
Please
стороны
note
есть
that the part has a printing on its face
но деталь
and
этой
its
есть
backside
рисунок,
is blank.
а с этой
So the
нет.
printing should face
Рисуночек
up.
вверх. Вот так.
Here we are.
И теперь
And now let's
сюда
install
мы
our keybox here.
устанавливаем, нашу клавишную панель таким образом, чтобы сторона
The
с
keybox
цифрами
should be installed in a way to have the numbered surface attached to the side panel.
к боковинке. Дальше нам
Then,
понадобится
we need the
средняя
mid-neck
часть
we
брюка,
assembled earlier.
которую мы собрали. И ее мы совмещаем
Align
с
it against the holes in the neck side and join them.
Фиксируем крайние
2 H-pins with parts number 40.
шипа деталями номер 40. А вот
This
этот
particular pin
деталь
should be
номер
locked with
110.
part number 110. This piece is distinguished by a more complicated decorative pattern. Here we are.
И еще
We need 2 more parts number 110
110. Нам понадобится
here.
дальше.
Next,
Возьмем блок
take unit E1
и устанавливаем
and
его
install it in the mid-neck big hole
на средней части грифа,
and unit E2 in the small hole.
Проверяем между собой шестеренки,
Check
вращаются,
rotation
и
of gears.
теперь мы закрываем правой
And cover the
частью
assembly with the right neck panel,
грифа. Это деталь
part number 79. The panel should be placed in face-up position.
Совмещаем шипы.
Align the pins and holes and feed the
и
panel.
надеваем.
Align the key box pins.
Клавишной панели. И
Press it
хорошенько
all the
дожимаем.
way down.
Теперь точно
Now
так же нам
we have
нужно
to lock the
зафиксировать
panel
с этой
on this
стороны.
side, following the same
Нам
steps.
понадобится 3 детали с
We
номером
need 3 parts, number 40,
40. И 3
and
детали
3 parts, number 110.
Вот так у нас
Here's what we
получилось. И
get.
теперь сюда мы
Now
должны
we should
установить
install
декоративную
decorative
накладку,
plates.
деталь номер 90.
Left and right parts, number 90,
Возьмем ее
on board
из
number
8-й
8.
доски. Правая и левая, и фиксируются они.
These parts will be locked with parts number 3,
Наши
pegs.
гвоздики.
The part is asymmetrical.
Там, где
The part with one leaf
листик, должна
should be placed between two
между
decorative elements.
двумя декоративными элементами.
The part on the back side
У нас
has
два
two
листика.
leaves.
Здесь точно
Same
так же.
here.
Теперь нам нужно
Now,
установить, собрать
let's
и
assemble
установить
and
держатель
install the
для,
string holder.
струны. Это детали
Find the set of parts number 95,
95,
96,
94,
and number 94
находятся
on board number
на
8.
8-й доске. Тут есть блок с ними.
And extract parts number 95 and number 96.
Таким образом.
Join them like this.
соединяем. И дальше одеваем деталь
Feed
номер
part number
94.
94.
Возможно, ее
You may need
придется
to sand and then wax it.
немножко зачистить.
Here you can see holes provided for this part.
Вот здесь есть
The part is locked.
отверстие.
On the
И
back
с
side,
обратной стороны она фиксируется вот такой вот
decorative
декоративной
droplet.
капелькой. Тут есть лицевая часть.
Attach the droplet with its face towards you.
Дальше нам
Then
нужно
we should
установить
feed
деталь
part number 97 and then part number 3. We need two pieces.
с обратной
Lock the part
стороны.
with the pin on the back side.
Зафиксируем ее шипом. И таким образом
It is now held in place with this part.
поджимается вот этой деталью.
We also should
И
feed a pin
еще
on the
нам
back
нужно
side to limit the movement of
с
our
обратной
holder.
стороны шип, который будет не пускать наш держатель дальше, чем нужно.
Now we can install the tangents. Start from tangent number 1. To install it, set the tangent in the hole and lift the hook. Then push the tangent into the opposite hole and the hook will go into the tangent hole, thus providing its resilience. To look the tangent, we need parts number 89 on board number 8. Wax the pins and feed the tangent into 2 holes like this. Pins first. Tangent will not come off its place, while at the same time providing resilience. Take out all parts number 89 at once. Feed them and install the tangents one by one. Check the number on the key box and install the corresponding tangent on top. Then, tangent number 3, tangent number 4, tangent number 5, and the last tangent number 6. All tangents are in their places. Now we can place the decorative cover part number 91. We need 2 parts number 92. To do this, fit 1 part to the cover
на саму крышечку. А вторую
and the second part to the neck.
гриф.
Align the part on the cover
Деталь, одетую на крышку, и соединяем
and attach it to the second one.
так.
The cover is attached.
И теперь соберем колышки.
Now we can assemble
для
the
натяжения
tuning packs.
струн. Нам понадобятся детали.
First, we need parts number 81 and number 82, which can be found on board number 4.
«81» и «82». И есть у нас блок.
We have the set of washers number 86. We will use them too.
Соединяем две части
Join two parts of a pack.
колышка. И нам нужны
Take
две
two washers
шайбы
number
номер
86.
86.
Send the washers
Смазываем
wax the pack ends
концы и одеваем
and feed the first washer here. The second washer
Нам нужно
should be run through these holes. To do this, wax this area,
надеваем
feed the
шайбу
washer
и в самый
and push it
конец
at the end.
поджимаем. Это у нас
Thus we have the
получается
tuning pack number 1,
колышек.
a long one.
И
Now,
теперь
the pack
второй.
number 2.
Собираем
Join
детали
parts number 83
и
and number
84.
84.
Соединяем
Wax the washer
между
areas.
собой. И точно так
The
же
same way.
смазываем места, куда нужно будет одеть шайбы.
And
Надеваем.
fit the washers.
Мы
The
собрали
tuning packs
колышки,
are
и
completed,
теперь
and
мы
now
можем
we have to
их
install
установить.
them.
Нам понадобится деталь
We need part number
номер
87.
87. Две
Two of them.
штуки. И
And
деталь
part
номер
number 88.
88. Они находятся
It can be
на
found on
первой
board number
доске.
1. Here's the tiny thing. We need two of them too.
Теперь
Now we
нам
need to
нужно
feed the
установить
big and small
большой и
packs.
маленькие колышки.
Take
Берем
the
большой
big pack
колышек и Продеваем его
and run it on the left
грифа сквозь
through the three holes in the neck.
Нам нужно вложить
We should place inside gear number 87.
Смажем
Wax its
ее
surface
по плоскости
and
и на
teeth.
зубцах. Вот сюда. Хелпером подправим, и нам нужно
Use the helper to fix the gear. The tuning pack should be installed in a way that allows to push this pack here through the gear on the back side.
Вот здесь. Протолкнуть этот колышек.
Now, as we turn, we can see that the peg has run through, and we can also see the hole into which this lock should be installed. Use the helper to run the lock all the way through.
Поставить до упора.
One tuning peg is done. Feed the tuning peg number 2, following the same procedure, with the only difference that the gear should be waxed and fitted between these two planes. Run the peg, turn a bit, and lock. The tuning peg number 2 is fitted too. Now we have one part number 40 left, which has not been installed. On this side. Our neck is completed.
Теперь мы можем установить его.
And we can now install it on the body.
Нашим корпусом.
Before doing this,
нам нужно смазать хорошо воском.
thoroughly wax these pins
и
hooks,
крючки и обязательно вот
and don't forget about this rounded area.
часть. Теперь
To install the neck, we should put the pins in these 4 holes
попасть вот в эти 4 отверстия
and attach it to the bottom deck with the hooks
за дно, за нижнюю деку и
and tilt the neck. As you can see, these parts came into the holes. That's how it should be. Now, join the neck and body by pushing them towards each other. Push the neck a bit more all the way until it clicks. The neck will stop in the hole. You should hear this loud, specific click. Now, all parts are installed and rotate easily. We should assemble the wheel crank and then we can feed strings and tune the instrument. For the crank assembly, we need parts number 99 and number 100. You can find them on board number 4. Here they are. I have troubles extracting them, so I cut the cross pieces and the parts come out easily. Then we need parts number 101 and number 102. Parts number 101 can be found on board number 5. Here's this set. And here are parts number 102. Connect the axle parts. Here we can see minus and plus symbols on one side. Wax the axle. And feed 2 washers number 101 on the part with the plus symbol. And one part, number 102, on the side with the minus symbol. Do this all the way through. And one part, number 101. Sand the trims and roof edges
И смажем
and wax
наши
the
шайбы
washers.
воском.
Now, take part number 103 and we'll need parts number 104 as well.
Смазываем
Wax contact surfaces at the holes
места напротив отверстий для деталей.
to facilitate connection
И
and fit all parts one by one. Done.
Теперь вставляем нашу ось
Now,
с шайбами
insert
внутрь,
our axle
той
inside,
стороной, где
the
маленькая
minus
и
end
большая
first,
шайба,
the end with the big and small
там,
washers.
где минус. И
Take part number 105. It should be fitted on top. To do this, wax the pins as we have quite a few of them,
И достаточно
and the aligning may be a challenge.
совместить. И совмещаем
Align
все
all
шипы.
pins Here we have the crank. We can work it in a bit to ensure that all parts rotate freely. Next, part number 102.
Сверху. Чтобы закрепить.
To fasten our crank,
Достаем
take out parts number 106
складываем
put them
вместе,
together,
совмещаем.
align,
И одеваем нашу
and
ручку,
fit the
можно
crank.
смазать
You can wax the pins
в
in the
меньшее
smaller
отверстие.
like this.
И получаем
Here we have the
ручку.
completed crank.
Теперь нам нужно
Now the crank should be
присоединить
attached
к
to the instrument.
инструменту. Для
To do
этого
this,
мы устанавливаем ее на
feed the crank onto this pin.
будет достаточно
It
плотно.
requires some
Она
force,
туда
so you can
садится,
wax
поэтому
the
можно
pin.
смазать. Так. И
Lock it with part number 111,
Она у нас
found in the set on board number 1,
сквозь
by putting it all the way through the hole. We can see that the handle that cranks the main wheel does it freely.
ручка, которая приводит в действие колесо основное.
Note the rotating planetary mechanism inside. Now, let's attach the strings and tune the instrument. To complete the assembly,
закончить сборку,
we should assemble the holder. We need parts number 109, number 107 and number 108. As you can see, we have a number of spare parts left.
Если вдруг что-то пошло не так,
You can use them if you did something wrong or broke a part.
заменять.
The holder is quite easy to assemble.
Таким образом соединяем.
Join the parts like this to have the prints outwards.
Смотрели наружу. Можно
You can wax the connection.
и
The decorative element locks the holder at the bottom.
который фиксирует подставочку, надеваем снизу. Вот так.
We can clear all unnecessary tools.
Мы можем убрать. Сейчас нам понадобится только...
All we need are the strings,
Сейчас нам понадобятся только струны и
rosin, and maybe the knife. The model set includes this string.
Она одна.
There's just one string, which should be divided in two. You can either do it at once or attach the whole string, cut off the loose end, and use it at the second string. This is what we are going to do. Let's start with the first string.
Для этого
Put the crank down
и
and run the string through the first right hole
в первое отверстие справа. Таким образом, чтобы у нас остался
ensuring that there's a 7-10 centimeters long loose end.
сантиметров 7-10. Теперь
Now,
этим кусочком лески
Make 5 turns and run it through the initial noose.
и пропускаем ее в первый виток.
Tighten the noose. Here we have the first knot.
Можно еще до того, как
Before attaching the strings,
чтобы уже
you can sand finish the wheel as it may have wax stains or burrs, which we had missed.
Попал на него воск при сборке или где-то мы что-то не дочистили, то можно
Sand the wheel surface once more. Now it's sanded. Important. We should apply the rosin from the model set to the wheel.
Канифолию, которая идет в комплекте.
The rosin increases the friction of the strings against the wheel, and we get the sound we are looking for. Thoroughly. Apply rosin to the wheel to make it smooth. The extra rosin can be removed.
Чистить, чтобы оно было гладеньким.
Then, when tuning, we can apply some more rosin.
Обработаем канифолью.
But now we can attach the strings. Run the first string through the right hole and the hole inside, which is also on the right.
И сквозь отверстие внутри, тоже которое находится с правой стороны. Вот таким
Like this.
образом. Дальше мы
Then, turn the tuning pegs to see both holes.
колки таким образом, чтобы видеть оба отверстия. Вставляем леску. С одной
Insert the
стороны.
string on one side
Во второе отверстие выводим ее.
and run it out through the second hole.
И теперь мы можем, немного отступив, завязать
Now we can make a knot.
узелок. И отступив сантиметров,
And cut the loose end at about 5 centimeters space.
теперь мы с помощью
Now, turning the tuning peg,
путем прокручивания
tighten the
подтягиваем
string.
струну.
Doing so, we reel the string
И постепенно она укорачивается.
and make it shorter, which increases the string tension. Make sure that the string is attached properly in this place.
Вот здесь.
Here we can stop for now. We'll fine-tune it a bit later. It was the melody string, now the second string. This is the bourbon string or bass string. This string is made of the second half of the chord. Similarly, run it through the hole, leaving a small loose end. Make 4 or 5 turns. And run it through the initial noose. Then tighten the knot. Run the string through this hole. You can release the holder. And through the leftmost hole. Similarly, run the string through these 2 holes. Pull the string on the back side and make a knot. The loose end can be cut. Now turn the small tuning pack to reel the second string. Make sure that the string is attached properly and tighten it. The assembly is completed. Let's move to the tuning phase. To correctly tune our instrument, we need a piece of the supplied rosin and apply it to the wheel and crank it a couple times to have the rosin. Apply to the entire wheel surface.
Дальше вам нужно будет установить
Then the first melody string
в такое
should be
положение,
positioned
чтобы она лежала приблизительно
in a way to make the straight line on the main wheel
на колесе основном и
and on the tuning pack where the string is fastened. In the result, we should have a straight horizontal line
горизонтальная линия может быть
that may have a
с
slight
небольшим
tilt to the
наклоном,
right at the
вправо
tuning
в
point.
месте настройки. Для того, чтобы правильно
To tune the
настроить
first
нашу
string
первую
correctly,
мелодийную струну, мы поднимаем
raise the second string and tune the first string. The string base is already adjusted in the upper position.
Основание струны и путем подтягивания колышков вперед или назад мы
Turn the tuning pegs forward to tune the string to the note D. If it's challenging for you to tune by ear, you can download a guitar tuning app and use it for the tuning. This is roughly the sound you should get. The second string is the background string. You can syntony it with the first string or tune it to the note G, whatever you like. This string is just the background string, and you can either use just one string or add the second string, which gives the sound some surround. To tune the second string, slightly raise the first string and tune the second string to the required note. Thus, you can use both strings. See ugearsmodels.com for the Hurdy-Gurdy notes. I'm going to play one of these tunes now. It is called Ode to Joy. I wish you a nice time with your Hurdy-Gurdy. The Hurdy-Gurdy will look terrific in your room. You can position it on the supplied stand like this.
В таком положении.
Or like this. In any case, this instrument will inspire you for playing your favorite tunes. See ugearsmodels.com for the Hurdy-Gurdy notes. I'm going to play one of these tunes now. It is called Ode to Joy. I wish you a great time with your Hurdy-Gurdy.